Hey, how's it going? My name is Ashley Rose. Of course, you can call me Ash, and I'm here with someone that you're familiar with. I'm here with Masha Slamovich, the current Knockouts World Champion of TNA Wrestling. Friend of the channel, Masha, how are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing well. I am thriving in a very busy time and environment. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very well. It's good to see you. And, we're all excited for Slammiversary. Before, we get started, anyone who wants to purchase Slammiversary, you can do that at the TNA Plus app. You can buy it as a standalone pay-per-view now, or you can purchase the annual package. And that annual package will include all of TNA and the events at watch.tnawrestling.com. Also, if you look over here, you're going to see a QR code. That QR code you can also scan, and also a list of our sponsors here as well. You can also get it in our details under the interview tab as well. And of course, you can shop WWE.com with former TNA talent. There's some merchandise there to support the channel. Now, this Slammiversary of 2025, it's a pretty big deal, going in. It's always marked a turning point when it came to TNA wrestling. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. So going into this year's Slammiversary, it's your biggest Slammiversary, in my opinion, because you could walk out as double champion. This episode is powered by Curse Cosmetics. Use my code AROSEDISTORTION for 10% off, where horror meets beauty. And also go to Abracadabra NYC, where horror is year round. The year round Halloween store. That's Abracadabra NYC. Same code for 10% off a Rose Distortion.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to Slammiversary. Like you said, it's going to be one of the biggest events. I have been a part of previous Slammiversaries, but this is absolutely looking like it's going to be the biggest, the most exciting one, the very high stakes this time around. And I think I'm ready, you know what I mean? I got my eyes on the prize.
Now, there's a lot of things going on at TNA. Clearly, there's a lot of things going on. I don't want to say necessarily changes. We'll say there's some, interferences and updates. Your old tag partner, Killer Kelly, she's back. Is there any concern about she might interrupt, what you got going on, your business, or she may get involved in your business this time around?
Well, I think Killer Kelly learned a very valuable lesson a few weeks ago when we had our little chain match. So that was more of her welcome back and just letting her know not to return into my business. So I don't think I'll have to worry about that.
That's good to hear. As far as Slammiversary, that's gonna be pretty much the main thing we're gonna focus on because I want to see you as double champ. I know a lot of our TNA faithful want to see you as double champ. Let's say for some reason it doesn't happen. Will you be trying to maybe regain our knockouts belt back, or perhaps, trying something new, maybe going back into a tag? What are our expectations? Let's say if there's a very low chance that you may lose, but let's say if it does happen, we always want to have a plan B.
Well, I haven't even entertained the thought of a plan B because I'm very focused on executing plan A, which is becoming both the TNA Knockouts champion, retaining this belt, and getting the NXT Women's Championship. And that has been my sole focus, and that's going to continue to be my sole focus. I don't think I can allow myself to get distracted with the idea of option B.
Well, I hope it really doesn't come to that. I mean, we already have our TNA World Title over there at NXT, so I mean, there's a chance, but I really hope that doesn't happen and that that's not the case.
I'm here to bring that TNA brand. I'm bringing one belt back. I'm taking the other belt with me. You know what I mean? If they're going to take our world title, I'm going to take their women's title. Tit for tat. Let's go.
Yeah, it's an eye for an eye. I think it's fair. I think it's a fair trade. I think it is. I think it's only fair that maybe they should just, hand it over as far as the NXT title. But that's of course my opinion. Let's talk about currently, what can we expect? Is there anything new we can expect? Your fans, can they expect any surprises without giving too much when it comes to entrances or gear? Any new moves?
Well, I certainly will be having some new gear at Slammiversary, God willing. Sometimes you say you're going to have new gear and then life has other plans. But as of right now, I do hope to be debuting a new set of gear. So let's keep an eye out for that. If anyone's been keeping track of my last couple of sets of gears, I've been doing um album covers from my favorite bands on my knee pads. So we can start a little guessing game and see which album covers I'm going to use this time. Because to be honest with you, I designed this gear so long ago, I don't even remember what I put on there. So,
Oh, okay. Uh, I won't even ask if we can maybe get a hint. So we'll leave it to
well,
surprise.
there's a hint. It's gonna be a throwback to a previous set of gear, sort of. So
Oh,
maybe two. It all ties together. All the stories of the gears tie together. Everything has meaning in the gear.
I love it. I absolutely do. What message are you planning to send when it comes to the Knockouts locker room or even the NXT women's locker room? What is it that you want to state? What type of message you want to give them? Whether you stay champion, whether you become their champion. Because if you leave as double champion, you will be their champion.
Of course, that does the goal to be double champion, and I take great pride in holding the TNA Knockouts World Championship and leading our locker room in our division. And if on Sunday I come out victorious, like I absolutely plan to do, it'll be my great honor to also lead the other division. And I only wish the best for myself, for both the titles, and for women's wrestling in general.
Now, looking at your opponent for NXT, what do you feel is the biggest threat, or what do you feel that you have to look out for? Anything in interference? I feel like that might be probably the only way that they'll win.
I mean, surely if everyone was watching, the Great American Bash and everyone was watching Evolution this past weekend, they have their tactics and they have the numbers game, but I've seen it play out time and time again, so I've got eyes on the back of my head.
Years from now, when fans talk about Slammiversary and they particularly talk about this Slammiversary, what do you hope that they remember forever?
I hope that Slammiversary, not only just my match, but the entire pay per view, is gonna be like a very important, like a timestamp for TNA wrestling, and it's gonna go down in the history books. We're looking at some of the most exciting matches listed on that show. We're looking at least north of 4 to 5 thousand people in attendance. It's going to be a massive night, and I'm extremely excited for it, for myself and for everyone else who's a part of it, and of course the fans watching live at the UBS Arena and everywhere else around the world.
You've built your name on hard work and grit, your ring performance, as well as your discipline. What's the hardest part about constantly raising the bar as a performer? Just in general, not just with Slammiversary.
Uh, I think it's maybe not difficult, but it's the most important is to always stay vigilant of what you're putting out there. Your products, your presentation, your work, and you've just got to like feel the vibe. Because in my opinion, if I feel just slightly like bored or tired or that something needs a change, I feel like surely someone in the audience as well thinks this. And that always pushes me to try to create something new and grow as a wrestler and, as an artist as well with when it comes to like gear design, entrance, all these other things. So it maybe not difficult, but it's very exciting almost to keep pushing my own limits.
Now, going into previous Slammiversaries, this is not your first Slammiversary, of course, but have you gotten any inspiration from previous Slammiversaries? Have you gone back to the archive and seen other legends' work?
Well, I'm always keeping my eye on a swivel when it comes to studying wrestling. I like to dig in, a very broad spectrum of styles. But also, I like to just be in a wrestling ring and try to come up with something new and go with the flow. And that's how I think innovation is born. So I enjoy just trying to create as well as looking back to study from what's already been done.
This year's Slammiversary, there's a lot on the line. I think just in general for TNA, I don't think, just necessarily for you. This is probably one of our largest Slammiversaries in a long time.
100%.
Yeah. Where are you emotionally, mentally?
Well, I'm very excited because not only is this going to be one of our biggest shows in a very long time, also it's in New York, and I'm going to be fortunate enough to have a lot of friends and family attending that show. So it's going to be kind of like a culmination of all of the work that I've done as a professional wrestler over, all the years of my career, honestly. And to be able to bring my friends and family to a big show like this and show them what I do, what my company does, what pro wrestling is all about, that really means a lot to me. And I'm very excited for that.
As current Knockouts champion, and you hopefully walking out as double champion of NXT and leading that locker room as well and leading this locker room. Uh, what does it mean to you in that moment if, it does happen, when it does happen, to have your friends and family there, particularly your family?
I mean, it's going to be really amazing. I've had a previous time when that has occurred when I was in New York City and I won the GCW World title with my parents and friends in attendance. And that was like a really cool and intimate setting at the Melrose Ballroom. But this is completely different. This is a huge arena, huge pay per view, and my friends and family are not that well versed in wrestling, so it's going to be really cool for them to probably almost every single one of those people is going to be their first time being in an arena seeing wrestling. So that's really awesome.
Now, let's go back to your current opponent for NXT. And this year's Slamversary match, if you can describe them in 3 words, what would it be? Pick any 3 words you want. I wouldn't say pick them wisely, but any one that you feel.
Um, wow. Now I have to think of words. It's like I got 2 of them, but I'm like, where do I find a third?
If you want to do 2.
Mischievous and devious. Even though they rhyme, I didn't intend for that to happen.
Well, do you have anything to say as far as to TNA faithful before I get to my last question? Anything you want them to know? Any words of inspiration?
My words of inspiration are thank you for inspiring me and thank you for keeping us going. All the TNA faithfuls, we wrestle for the audience. We wrestle for you every single week. And thank you for your support. And I'm bringing home the gold and I'm bringing home more gold. And you best believe that. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I look forward to. And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the best. TNA, we have some of the best performers, and I've always said that. And we put on some of the best wrestling. Now, last question. Have you noticed, or how would you describe your personal growth from when you came in, when you first debuted to TNA, being a tag with Killer Kelly, being a tag with the Lish, of course, to now?
I mean, hard to even put into words because when I first came to TNA, that was in September of 2021. And I mean, I'm just a completely different person. I'm a completely different wrestler. It's pretty awesome to look back on all my years at TNA and then like watch the growth, transpire, and the wrestling as well. So it's been a really good ride, and I'm looking forward to what is to come.
And you hear that, everyone? If you want to check out TNA's Slammiversary this year, you can do that on the TNA Plus app. You purchase it as a standalone pay-per-view, an annual package. Once again, QR code is listed here on the screen somewhere. I'll put it there. Scan it, use your phone, or of course, just click the link in the description as well, or go to watch.tnawrestling.com. Masha, thank you so much for joining me today. I know I know you were on here recently. Thank you again. You know, I consider you a friend of the channel, and it's so good to hear from you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Once again, everyone, goodbye, good night.